like you said, has been absolutely amazing. We've seen some incredible Halos so far, and something tells me we're gonna see even more, and we're down in the elimination bracket, so that's where it really matters most. All of these teams are fighting for their tournament lives to get the best seating possible, to get those travel expenses, and of course you want to make pool play over at Charlotte. So let's get right into our matchup.
Here we go. Game number one, going rogue versus native white. Native white, a team with players from all around the region. You love to see it, right? Honestly, it looks like Huss, Straight Sick, KingJay, and Piggy, I believe, I'm sorry, are gonna be on the going rogue side, I believe. Tony, am I messing this up?
Well, actually, listen, we hopped into a little bit of a different matchup. We're gonna take a look at Cloud9 versus leftovers here. I guess so. A little bit of a different matchup for you guys. Cloud9, newly signed team. Squallaye, Triton, Nemassist. They've been absolutely showing out. Then you have Rammyy, who's kind of trying to become that permanent fourth that he was playing absolutely lights out yesterday. And then leftovers, Piggy, KingJay, Straight Sick, and Huss. KingJay and Piggy just recently kind of left nested a little bit to the side. Straight Sick was formerly teaming with this very squad on Cloud9 to begin with before Rammyy took his spot. And then Huss was literally just dropped by TSS a couple of days ago and swallowed up here by leftovers, which is why they called themselves the leftovers.
It's crazy, right? That chemistry kind of clicking right in for some of these rosters here. Cloud9, we got to watch a lot of them yesterday. Definitely a really solid roster. I mean, we talked about Rammyy. You know, you even tweeted at the CEO of Cloud9, letting him know Rammy's he's earned his spot in this play. You know, he's been playing phenomenal. You know, he played phenomenal in that previous tournament, and now getting into this one. But they go 3 down, Tony, right off the bat, and that flag's gonna get pulled. But they get some favorable spawns at the mid side of the map.
You know me, I love storylines, and we have a big one right here in front of us, and that's Straight Sick. Straight Sick was running with this very Cloud9 squad. He feels like he should be signed with them because he felt like he was playing so good. I bet he did not want to get dropped. I bet he did not want to see them running with other players, so he must be mad that Rammy's running with this squad and possibly about to be signed. So if leftovers can get a big win on this newly signed Cloud9, this could be great for Straight Sick and great for the leftover squad as a whole. And of course, it's the man Straight Sick 7-3. Leftovers getting the first capture on the board, and Piggy already stealing that sniper rifle. Things are looking pretty good if you're a fan of leftovers.
Yeah, they've got the sniper rifle and another cap on the way. 1-0 is the score line thus far, and like you said, Straight Sick having a very good start to this game. Argyle, a new map to the circuits. Definitely get some getting used to be done here. You'll see the flag being pulled on the opposite side, so it's going to be up to Piggy right now. He's in the position to stop this, and he'll relay the flag to KingJay, one of his teammates. They've got to do a little bit of slaying here, and it's going to be up to Piggy with his snipe to make it happen, and he gets one.
And Cloud9 are already starting to work on a flag moving across the 50% portion of the map. You see Piggy trying to do everything he can to salvage this touch, and is able to do so after taking down Squallaye. But keep in mind, Cloud9 still stole that flag, so we have a bit of a standoff here. Argyle with those long angles, so hard to even make it into your opponent's base, let alone get those kills, and then ultimately get the return, which both of them need at the moment.
You see Huss up in the vents right there. Definitely a spot where you can pretty much see everything, right? You've got a great vantage point. He's got Squallaye on the other end of things as well. Looks like Straight Sick might be going for that return, but he's got to take care of one player first. Looks like just keeping the flag alive. Huss is going to push this bottom center side. This is an interesting push, right? You've got that repulsor to work with, but you got to get through Rammyy, who has a sniper below vents, and that camo coming up, very important position for him.
And it looks like Rammyy gonna trust his teammates to play towards that flag while he tries to play up onto the camouflage, but playing twice, that camo's gone, and now it's in the hands of one. Did he get the trade? I did not. KingJay down to one shot absolute, but still alive, and that's what matters. So now Cloud9 must be seeing Ghost at the moment. Everyone checking their backside, because he can be coming in for the quick backsmack and the quick return at any given moment. Here he is. works on the return first, then gets the kill. Nemassist now gonna go in for the challenge. Luckily, Nemassist hits the body shot on the camouflage player to stop the return from coming in. Well played by Nemassist and Cloud9. And of course, he's not done yet. Goes right after Straight Sick from across the map. And just like that, Cloud9 should be moving in for the return.
Yeah, I actually love this aggression as well by Nemassist, right? He gets that snipe. He knows 2 or 3 are dead, so he's going to push up and get positioning. But they get those back base spawns. They've got to get another round of slays. They do, but Straight Sick, the last man alive, he's the one in position right now, and he touches the flag to get a reset on it.
And look at the sneaky play by Nemassist, looking to make even more plays than he already has, but the first 2 shots are going to connect with the BR. Sadly, the sniper rifle will not. So not only does Nemassist go down and not get that return, but now that sniper rifle changes hands. Straight Sick's going to have a chance to absolutely go off with it. Currently 11-7, clearly comfortable on Argyle as he tries to push up to the left-hand side, already losing a teammate. That's going to slow Leftovers down just a bit. And Triton is looking to up the tempo.
Nemassist having a really good start to this game, but we're on board with Triton, who's going to try and get a return on this flag. He's got 1 kill to get. That vent is very elusive, right? You can pretty much take the very top of the map here. The grapple is up there as well. It provides even more movement, but here comes the flag return. They get the kills necessary, and that camo coming up, they've got to push up for that middle map.
You know, what do they say another word for Leftovers is? They call it scraps, right? Because as of right now, Leftovers, they playing a little scrappy right now. That should have been a return for Cloud9, but somehow Leftovers able to scrape away at that plate, able to stop Cloud9 from going in, and now they get the chance to turn that defense into offense because they're already pushing forward. Rammyy wants to go into an individual challenge. Not going to be enough as he goes down. Looks like Huss is going to hit the black screen as well. We do see a play. Looks like he's jumping in for the return. It looks like that might end up coming in. The sniper rifle across the map is going to help them out. Nemassist down to 1 shot. That's enough to get the return. And just like that, Leftovers looking like the main course, looking like a snack. 2-0 in favor of the boys in red.
Yeah, I love to see Straight Sick having such a phenomenal game too. On board with KingJay, he made the play to put that flag in. He's got a sniper. He's been doing massive damage across the map here. Look at that pinch. A little bit of a reroute there is going to allow him to get that kill. They get this one onto Squallaye. They can potentially push in, but he stays alive, and this is one of those really important lives. This is, again, another low percentage kill for Squallaye. To be able to get that double kill is so huge because, honestly, Leftovers was in position to take another flag.
The individual plays really started to happen for both of these squads, but for Cloud9, it needs to start turning into some team plays. It needs to start popping off together as opposed to one at a time. And now you're seeing the double push out of Cloud9. This is what you wanted to see. Eventually, Nemassist goes down, but trades out for 2 lives for Leftovers. The math working in favor of them as Cloud9 are already moving in position to pull the flag, but the rest of the 3 players go down. Triton's not happy about that. He's already in enemy territory.
Yeah, Huss and KingJay on those shotgun stairs, they were able to play around each other right there and take on that 2v2 without dying, which is so very huge, right? It gives you that top center control. With that camo coming up, that's all you really need. The only problem is KingJay does fall early, so Cloud9 unfortunately does potentially have numbers here, but Piggy does die with the camo, which is going to be a huge blunder.
And Nate seemingly coming out of nowhere. Squallaye awarded the kill for that one, but hey, any way to take down that camouflage, great for Squallaye and Cloud9, but you're still down by 2 caps. And mind you, Argyle, it's one of the hardest maps to start capping flags and to cap back-to-back flags on. You only have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to work with, and on Argyle, it's really not that much. Cloud9 are gonna have to step it up right here, right now.
Yeah, we've seen some very low cap numbers on this map, looking at the entirety of the tournament. Reminds me of a little bit of Bazaar when the very beginning, when Bazaar first came out, those cap numbers were so very low. I love the position the Squallaye is playing up top here. He's able to do so much damage to anyone from Leftovers that is going to push through, and he plays his life at the same time. This is huge for him because he can get back up there and continue to apply pressure, but again, 2 go down for each side, and it's up to Triton with a sniper to make something happen.
Squallaye does end up going down, but feeds that information to trying to get the easy kill on the opposing sniper rifle player, but now he's replaced by 2 more out of Leftovers. Cloud9 controlling the 50% portion of the map well, especially through these vents, but they got to start getting into Leftovers base. They got to start wreaking some havoc because already a minute has come off of the clock and they haven't even approached Leftovers side, and now they just have gone 2 down, trying now chasing a player away. They have to deal with these kills, and eventually Triton ends up going down, and Leftovers are doing such a good job at stopping every single one of Cloud9's pushes.
Yeah, and this is the one push where, like you said, they end up going down in numbers, and of course Cloud9 has an opportunity to push up here. The problem is the individual skill on this Leftover roster seems to be very overwhelming. Finally, Cloud9 have started to feel a little bit more comfortable. They get a flagpole finally, but it's gonna get stopped, I believe. No, it looks like they're gonna make it past the halfway portion of the map. KingJay's the only one really in position to stop this.
Cloud9 started to shake off the rust here as that flag has already made it towards their sniper. Leftovers still have an opportunity to slay out and stop the flag from going in, but Squallaye says, hold this for me real quick. Plants one right onto the dome with the S7 sniper rifle, and just like that, Cloud9 get that flag hit. Now starts moving for another one with 1 minute and 30 seconds. It's definitely probable for them to come out on top here and tie it up and force us into an overtime. This game number 1 hasn't been disappointing yet. Cloud9, let's see if we can send it to overtime here.
Yeah, unfortunately though, with a minute remaining, Rammyy dying early there is very bad for the squad because now they go 3 dead. They've got potentially a little bit of defense to play and maybe one more push, but like you said, flag camps take a very long time on Argyle, and it's going to be very difficult for them to get the slays they need and also pull that flag all the way across the map.
And I know that with this control, Cloud9 are begging for a camouflage to come up at any given moment. They're not going to get it. They're going to have to do it without that camo. As Nemassist goes in quick, roasting that piggy. KingJay is right under him. If Nemassist can go after his former teammate, this could be huge. The body shot into the BR is going to connect, and Cloud9 are able to pull that flag off of its pedestal. Finally, the camouflage is coming up, but right as the game is about to end, so they can't play through it. They're going to have to keep grinding that flag forward. Squallaye tries to pass it up over towards the vent. It looks like Rammyy might have been able to get it past the vent and over towards the computer side. He ends up going down courtesy of Straight Sick. Nemassist and Straight Sick going for a huge battle, and Nemassist puts him onto the black screen. Squallaye somehow, some way, is able to push this flag in just 1 more inch, and you got it home. Leftovers, the long range shots aren't going to connect. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going into an overtime.
You had to play some perfect Halo there to get that flag across the map with 20 seconds remaining. They do just that. Straysick was in a perfect position right there to get the kill. He did, but he ended up losing the most important fight of the entire game. And because of that, they're going to have to fight one more time. We're in overtime. The first cap wins.
Cloud9 looking like a Olympic relay team, the way they were able to just keep passing the baton. They just kept passing that flag forward and forward, and it ended up working. It's so unfortunate. Leftovers really just needed 1, maybe 2 kills, and they would have been good with that, but they got the 1 or 2 kills they were looking for as Cloud9 ended up going 3 down. Piggy able to pull that flag off, but a clutch kill by Squallaye right off his spawn only leads him to a beautiful snipe out of KingJay. Great kill by Squallaye, but now it's gonna be countered back to the body shot from Rammyy. Nemassist finishes him off, but Straight Sick has already moved that flag forward. Rammyy with the angle from all the way downtown. Triton's pushing up. He wants to work on this return. There's 2 members of Leftovers that should be able to push that flag, but Rammy's continuing to blame player after player. The flag does end up going in. Great teamwork. Rammyy with the snipes and Triton with the return. We're gonna reset a little bit here. Active, my heart can't take this. It's only game 1.
It's only game 1. Unfortunately, Rammyy does die in a very unfortunate position there because he had the snipe in hand. And right now, a sniper in overtime is gold. 2 go down. For Cloud9, a stick onto Huss is going to make things a little bit more even. That's the stick you needed right there by Rammyy. Seemingly making some incredible plays over and over again. The numbers will be even here, but with that camo coming up, I'm going to assume Cloud9 will set up for this, make sure it's secured, and then push for another cap.
these two teams seeming so evenly matched right now. That's why it's so tough for either one of them to get even 2 or 3 down, let alone work on a flag cap. It takes perfect halo for either one of them to get the flag through. Even Piggy working for the camouflage. Great teamwork, because Straight Sick deals with one as Piggy gets away with the camo. We know how important that is here on Argyle, so the pings are going in. At this point, Cloud9 needs to be desperate and watching their flag, because they know the moment that Piggy pulls this, he has the ability to walk it as far as possible without them having any intel here. So there's a 3-man setup over toward the base. The moment Piggy pulls that flag, they are immediately going to step right into it. So instead, he's going to get the little return to sender. That's going to be a stick. Piggy ends up getting a double kill. One more kill. This flag is going to be pulled. Nemassist is now being left on the island over toward the back base. He lifts up only to get knocked right down. That flag going right up the middle. The confidence. Huss has to hit a snipe shot here. He's able to hit the body shot. Triton goes down. Rammy's trying to get in position, but nobody's going to be able to stop this flag. This should be it. Leftovers. Eating up.
I can't tell you how perfect Piggy played that camo right there. There is literally no possible way you play that camo any better than he just did to win that game. You start off with the repulse plasma nade for the stick. You get the double beatdown and the kill on the second player. Here it is. The repulse plasma nade for 1 kill, the 2-shot beatdown for the second, playing his life, staying alive, getting 1 shot into Triton, all the while Nemassist, like you said, stuck on an island, nothing he could do, just lifting up into fire. You can't play this any more perfect. This is absolute perfect camo play on a Piggy.
How is that not a return to sender? Louis, give me that one more time.
He threw the nade himself. That's why.
Okay, he threw it, and from my angle. Okay, so he planted on the ground and then repulsed it. There we go.
Yeah, this is something a lot of players are doing now. You basically throw a nade and you repulse at the same time. Yeah, you cancel the animation, but it's also like a heat-seeking plasma nade. Like, it does not miss. So it's something that people have been doing, and it's phenomenal. Like, you couldn't have played this better. Absolute incredible job.
It was so picture. You know, you already know he has a paddle set up for that repulse. It came in so quick that I didn't even see. Like, I didn't even see the start of the grenade throwing motion. How good that was! My gosh, I read this story before. You know, it was the big bad pig against the 3 little wolves. He blew the.
I don't think that's right, Tony. I don't think that's the way the story goes. No.
What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure.
What do you know? You're a mouse and keyboard playing Halo. Don't you?
Listen,
game number 2. Gonna be Street Slayer. As of right now, leftovers up 1-0 so far. Cloud9 looking to tie things up here. Leftovers seemingly coming out of nowhere. Even against the likes of Cloud9, can they go up 2-0?
Right away, Cloud9 start very strong here. They get a couple of kills. They also, I believe, had the power whips. I think the Rockets are out of play at this point in time, but a 4-kill lead to start this game.
Squallaye, the first one to go down here for Cloud9. Rammyy wants to slow it down just a bit as the second player will drop. The Sentinel beam so good at close range combat. The problem is they don't have the numbers, so somehow Rammyy was able to slow it down enough for the team to come back off a spawn, and now that he has the numbers, this is where Cloud9 want to get aggressive. Right up the mid, Rammyy goes, but into 3 different players, making 4 players shooting at Rammyy, and nobody able to get the cleanups. Just like that, leftovers putting 3 kills in a row. Triton does not want to lose this Bulldog.
Yeah, we're talking about how strong this Bulldog is, and yesterday we were talking about this Stalker Bulldog combo. So very strong, and right now in the hands of Triton, it's going to be very difficult for leftovers to stay alive here. As you can see, 2 fall right off the bat, and Straight Six stuck in the back side of A. Taking tons of damage himself. That's going to flip the spawns over on C side. So now you'll see a rotation over, but a big lead as well. 13-8 Cloud9.
We saw leftovers winning those slay battles, you know, putting Cloud9 on respawn twice in a row, but Cloud9 answered right back, and with that have a 4-kill lead. But these rockets so important, and Huss from leftovers is getting away with it. A quick kill or 2 here can provide leftovers that momentum and that leverage that they're looking for. checking back and forth. He knows he does not want to trade out here. Finds an avenue to get up high. Goes right back down. So he worked so hard to get the height advantage, but goes right back down. Finds the kill he was looking for, though, as Squallaye does end up going down. And the same for Rammyy with that leftovers seemingly coming out of nowhere. The moment it gets you 1 or 2 down, boom, they start sprinting. They get in your face. They're not going to waste any time at all.
And that right there is a 4-kill lead minimized to a 1-kill lead for Cloud9, all due to the fact that the Rockets were in play and leftovers doing a great job of taking control of those power weapons. Great job by Nemassist to stay alive in this situation. The tie game is up. He's in a flank position. I love this play right here. He's able to put so much damage in, but still continue to push forward. But great job by leftovers to take him out quick.
Tied up at 18 apiece, despite the fact that leftovers played well with those Rockets and put Cloud9 forward down. The bounce back was immaculate coming out of Cloud9, and we have straight sick receiving a couple pings. Doesn't want to just run into open space with this Bulldog, so he's going to actually push over toward the teammate. Love this play. B-side control in favor of leftovers, and that's exactly where they want to be. Dodging that grenade with the thrust. Somehow I feel like we just saw a rocket launch. We're about to see another one in about 20 seconds. Can leftovers get 2 rockets in a row? If they can, that will be good for their score line.
Unfortunately, this is what happens where you're stuck inside of the corner of PD. You've got help on Rammyy, but this shotgun is so very important. 3 down for Cloud9, and once again, like you just mentioned, another rocket. 4 leftovers in the hands of Huss, and they're just going to extend this lead even further. 25-21. Beautiful job. Beautiful turnaround by leftovers.
It's the second time in a row leftovers and Huss does the exact same thing. They let the game slow down. Even when Cloud9 bounce back, they get the rockets and let the power weapons, let the sandbox do the work for you. They did it before in the first rocket. They just did it again as Huss absolutely goes off with them. And just like that, leftovers have a 3-kill lead, but they make it look like 10 times easier than Cloud9 did. Now they're going to retreat back over to their seaside setup. They're playing super defensive, but it is working here on streets. Of course, Piggy got the stalker rifle, and he's not going to be the one getting roasted. We're not going to have a bacon today. He's going to be cooking. Let this man cook.
Yeah, they're controlling the pace of the game, but look at KingJay's positioning right now. He's got a massive flank onto B. Unfortunately, though, he does go down early, so that will be, unfortunately, not the best play, but it still turns into kills for his teammates as 2 of Cloud9 go down.
Piggy 11-5 right now. 4 assists to go along with it, and still looking to put in work with the stalker rifle. Gonna let the BR finish off Triton there. 2 down for Cloud9, but they are able to answer back. Piggy hit the black screen. That stalker rifle should change hands here as Nemassist controlling the B side. Rammyy pushing over towards the A. The commando absolutely shredding the shields and the life of straight sick. I'm sorry, KingJay. Now they have a drop wall. Now Cloud9 had the opportunity to surround leftovers, who seemingly stuck once again in the subway side of the map.
Yeah, but leftovers just created an amazing bait and switch right there. And it's going to provide them the entirety of B Street. They still have a 1-kill lead as well, but I love how Cloud9's able to quell that push. Even with that first kill down, they still are able to stay alive and out-rotate. Nemassist with the 2nd rocket now for Cloud9. Each team has gotten 2 rockets in this game thus far.
I'm still looking to engage with these rockets here. So much why happen? He didn't know what he had out. Finally decides to swap out the BR for the shotgun. That's going to be the last rocket in the chamber, but still has that Bulldog to work with. And of course, that commando coming up so quick. Back into the action he goes. Him and Rammyy working a little 1-2 combo onto the cafe side, but Rammyy ends up being isolated. Nemassist was trying to get his shields back. He backs down, but Cloud9 eventually go 3 down. I wanted to see them take a little bit more advantage, but a lack of timing ends up being exploited by leftovers.
Yeah, it's a really good point, right? Huss was out of position there, a little bit overextended on that cafe side, but leftovers were still able to act and push on purple to assist him. And because of that, Cloud9 go 3 down at that moment, and now down by 4 kills in this game as well.
My man Piggy's still going off. 15 kills, 7 assists. Loving that, but we have Rammyy on screen, and He gets the assist to start the push for Cloud9. The second one's gonna fall. Just like that, Cloud9 take advantage of the numbers and bring them back within 3. But now the question is, can they identify where the spawners are coming from? It's not enough to put your enemy 3 down. You have to make them pay. Once you find the wound, you gotta put your thumb on it. And that's exactly what Squallaye and Rammyy are gonna do over towards the purple side of the map. Straight Sick gonna try to fly into the cafe, ends up flying into a couple of grenades. The answer back is beautiful. Straight Sick takes down Squallaye. Rammyy gonna be the next one to fall. Leftover successfully spawning up and making their presence known, increasing their lead as they push over towards the end game.
What's crazy is you think so many of these plays are an overextension, like right there from Straight Sick, but Leftovers are just so quick to act on the push from Cloud9 that it ends up just being so greatly in their favor. And with those rockets coming up and 1 down for each side, Leftovers do have control of the middle portion of the map, and it's going to take a lot of kills from Cloud9 here at the center of the map to make these rockets happen.
Just 5 more kills needed by Leftovers. Rammyy dropping the stick though, but that's gonna be a trade, and every single one of the trade works in favor of Leftovers as both players are 2 down. Triton makes a high risk, high reward right up the middle with that curve slide, sneaks away with the rocket. Still 1 shot, but nobody's able to deal with him, and this can be huge. You're down by 2. You have 2 rockets in the back pocket. Now it's time to pop, lock, and drop it. I don't know, Tim, shut up.
We'll see if Triton's able to make something happen with these. Like you said, it's 2 kills, but there. A beatdown and no trade. That is ginormous, 49 to 45. Leftovers only need 1 more kill, and they're going for it. They're charging, and there it is. Leftovers are gonna go up 2-0 in the series so far. Tony, what an incredible job by Leftovers. They're so quick to push on those advantages, so quick to essentially just be so aggressive to catch Cloud9 off guard. This rocket misses somehow, some way. It's gonna, yes, I believe it goes all the way past the stairs there, which is so very unfortunate. Not even a trade, and Huss gets that beat down. Incredible job.
This ain't your old mama's leftover, that 4-day-old spaghetti. Like, you out here, can we have McDonald's? Like, no, we got food at home. This is a different Leftovers. 2-0. They're up just 1 game away from knocking out Cloud9. Cloud9 should be the favorites coming into this matchup, but Leftovers, again, looking like the main course. And for the final time, we might just see Cloud9, and it's gonna be Strongholds recharge. Tim, why don't you go over some of these stats and tell me what they're telling you?
Yeah, I'll be honest, Tony. Leftover pizza is delicious. I wish I could have some, but as far as the stats, 5,000 damage coming out of Piggy. Such a young player with so much talent, so scary. I love the pacing of this roster. I love just how fast they're able to act on different decisions. I mean, it just seemed like Cloud9 wasn't ready for the pace of play that Leftovers brought this game and in this series thus far. It's gonna take, I feel like even you talked about it. They controlled the pace of the game so many times. They knew when to slow it down as well, though. And, you know, you talk about rosters being, you know, quick. For instance, Native Red, such a fast roster, but being able to control the pace and slow down when necessary is one of the most important factors a team can bring.
You gotta be able to control the pace. You're absolutely right. And as of right now, Leftovers doing a little bit better than the opposition in Cloud9. And one thing I'm excited for is the fact that they're playing for something to prove. There's a reason why they named their team Leftovers. They feel some type of way. Huss was literally just dropped a few days ago. Straight Sick was previously teaming with this Cloud9 roster, and he decided to run with other players. So they feel some type of way, and when you're playing for something to prove with a little bit of that chip on your shoulders,
oh, absolutely.
So sometimes that can affect players in the wrong way. But as of right now, Leftovers are using that as motivation. You're seeing the energy. I can't even hear the comms, but I already know there's so much energy, so much passion there, and it's reflecting in the scoreboard. You're now 1 game away from knocking down Cloud9 as the 15th seed. You're 5 seeds below them. Now's your time.
It's all about that why. You know, why do you want it? Why do you want to win? And it looks like Leftovers' why is greater at this point in time. Cloud9 still have a chance, though. Game 3 recharge, Strongholds, of course. You had mentioned that, and This is a map that can get very snowbally. We've seen some incredible control, getting those triple caps. We've seen a lot more triple caps now, and even in, I would say, season 2 than we did in season 1. I feel like teams you're acting quicker, you know, forcing those spawns on the long haul. We'll see if that's the case here. We'll see if Cloud9 can just deal with the pacing of this leftover roster.
Normally when I think of Cloud9, I think of that very team that you talked about, being able to up the tempo when necessary, but also their ability to slow the game down. It's usually what I'm really excited about. A map like Recharge, normally, I would say favors Cloud9. I think they're great at slowing the game. I think they're great at changing that tempo. But the way I saw Leftovers man that subway side, and just wait for the Rockets to go, just wait for the right opportunity, that 1 or 2 picks, and then that's when they rushed in. It seems like Leftovers are not only beating Cloud9, but they're beating Cloud9 at their own game. And that's what's really exciting to watch with Leftovers. So normally I would give this game to Cloud9, but Leftovers looking a little bit different. Game number 3, it's gonna be Recharge. Who's coming out on top?
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if they're able to bring that same pace here on Recharge. You talked about it, right? This map, I would say, also favors Cloud9. It favors that very setup mentality. And sometimes when you're aggressing, sometimes you overextend. And I called that a couple overextensions, but they didn't seem to be. But we're also talking about a very small map like the streets. I mean, Recharge, it's small as well, but the sight lines are much different on a map like Recharge. We'll see if we see the same story here coming out of Leftovers.
Huss immediately taking height over to the top 8 catwalk. Trusts his teammate in Piggy to finish off one. And right off the rip, starts with a double kill. Even has the one-shot Squallaye. Didn't have enough ammo in his gun, but the way the Leftovers are playing for each other, tight at the elbow. They're not on top of each other, but they're always able to switch out when necessary. He gets caught in a reload. His teammate finishes that final kill. Cloud9 go 4 down. So what does that mean? A trip cap for Leftovers. The spawn trap now coming in. Rammyy tries to make the break, but doesn't have the number. Rammyy, who is this guy? That was nasty. That was game saving right there.
It really is. Like, it's plays like that. They're so ginormous. That double kill is going to prevent anything from happening on this C side. It's like C will be captured. Tracing a little bit out of position here. Tries to get the repulsor off the map. Not going to happen. Rammyy, another kill. That's 3 kills for Rammyy in such a quick succession here. And he's playing his life at the same time. Gets the repulse as well. Rammyy playing beautiful Halo right now. Some points on the board for Cloud9.
There's no way that I'm seeing what happened with Rammyy. His team was 3 down. They were spawn trapped over toward the seaside, and the man gets a double kill into taking on the final 2. He took down all of Leftovers by himself, despite the fact that Leftovers were running through that spawn. Like, if Rammyy doesn't go off, this is like a 100-0 game in favor of Leftovers. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm just a little bit impressed that Rammyy continues to go perfect kill after perfect kill. Nobody can stop this man. 7-2, putting Cloud9 on his back.
And we talked about him playing for a contract yesterday or whatever, right? It's about the why. So why do you want to win? Why do you have to prove the world that you belong on this team? Why do you have to prove that you belong on this roster? He's doing that right now, playing the best Halo possible. And he's doing it all the while getting potentially Cloud9 this lead right at this very moment. Rammyy continuing on a tear, 8-2, and he won't stop.
And finally, they're able to heat check him. But even when he goes down, he comes out with the trade. I told you this yesterday, Tim. You want to win, you put Rammyy in. But Leftovers with the recovery. Able to put them 3 down, and now Leftovers are working onto the Charlie side. Rammyy off his spawn, pushing over towards Bravo. I'm surprised nobody on Leftovers is able to deal with that. That's because they're actually going down. Huss and Piggy hit the black screen. Cloud9 have the numbers, so although Leftovers take over Charlie, Alpha simply swapped away.
Yeah, Leftovers were unfortunately in a little bit of a stagger there, so I like the change of pace of the game right here. They change the pace, they wait for the full spawns, then they push. KingJay, this is a massive kill for him, but I like the ability to back off and make sure he plays his life. Tower is such a big place to control on Recharge.
Shockwave from the hands of KingJay, lines it up, but only connects with the body. Ends up being taken down himself, and so will multiple members of Leftovers. Cloud9 gonna hold on to that AB setup. They're allowing leftovers to spawn up over toward the seaside. You see the pings coming in. Is that a straight sick from downtown? You know, he played basketball. My man, he got a little bit of a shot. He saw it right there. Great stick by straight sick, but great kill still working in favor of Cloud9, and the points continue to roll in.
Yeah, you can see the Cloud9 setup is really working well for them. Leftovers does get a triple spawn here, so they're gonna push A off of that, but the trade comes out of C. And a huge lead still continuing on for Cloud9. Rammy's gonna get sniffed out there, so potentially they secure that A and B side, and the spawns will come out on C. One more defense from Leftovers. They could potentially get closer to tying this game, and that camo is going to help a lot.
My question for Leftovers is what happens when you're putting the enemy team on spawn? Like, we saw them start to surround Cloud9. I was like, okay, they're starting to figure it out, but then I look at the scoreboard once again. Now you're 3 down once again. You allow Cloud9 to spawn up and overwhelm you, although you're the one manipulating the spawns, although you're the one who know exactly where they're coming from. It's crazy that you know exactly where Leftovers are coming from, and you still can't do anything about it. It's tough. It really is. Cloud9's lead just continues to grow. 151 to 59 lead. You see Leftovers trying to desperate over towards that Bravo side. It's not gonna work. 2 more members now flooding in, and they're gonna be dealt with the quickness. Another 3 down. This is bad. This really is bad for Leftovers.
Yeah, it's something I mentioned right at the start of the game, right? This map favors that structure just because of the cross shots, the angles you can take from, you know, whirlpool to glass or from top cat to glass. Regardless, there's angles that you can take as a structured team that's going to make it really difficult for these pushes to happen, because every time that they end up pushing, they're going to be pushing weak. And that's why you consistently see 3 dead. In that scenario right there that we just witnessed, unfortunately, no damage was able to be put into Leftovers. So that push is going to net them an A and C hold.
Huss putting that commando to work immediately. Able to take down Triton. You see Rammyy working onto the Charlie side. I love that. But if you see the overwhelming numbers from Leftovers onto the gold side of the map, why try to headbutt it? Just push out over towards Charlie and see if you can make that work. Play through that, and that's exactly what Cloud9 are looking to do. Rammyy takes height over towards tower as the active camouflage is coming up. Leftovers are gaining valuable time here, but Nemassist and Cloud9 really prioritize this camouflage, and this can work out for them.
They've got to make sure they kill Huss on that top glass area, even though they did have 2 dead for a moment there for Cloud9. I mean, for Leftovers, I'm sorry. Huss is a very important player to take out. They do finally take him out as he pushes bottom mid, but I don't believe anyone has the camo in hand unless it got burnt there. 2 caps on the board, 88 seconds and counting. Leftovers trying him out to come back here, but it looks nearly impossible.
It's tough. Cloud9 already moving in for Bravo and Alpha at the same time. If they net Alpha, this is going to be a triple cap. And that's when it really starts to roll downhill.
Stronghold captured.
Leftovers, you need to answer back here, and so far we're not seeing that. We're seeing the pings left and right from Cloud9 trying to divert their attention over toward the seaside players. Although they're going to allow Leftovers to get the seaside, the question is, where do they go? Don't have 2 ways, through tower or through long haul, and Cloud9 are watching every single angle. It's not going to be easy for Leftovers as they try to push forward. Oh, the shock rifle double. Rammyy now pushing up for the 3rd. That's going to be a triple kill. Rammyy just ramming right through the defenses of Leftovers. Anytime they try to make something happen, Rammyy goes off, and it's reflecting the scoreboard. 20 kills, 9 deaths. You don't even got time for no assist. My man's going for straight kills.
You have to understand, Huss made a really good play there. There's a ton of damage into Cloud9, but when you have Rammyy going 21-9, it becomes very difficult to make any sort of play happen. You know, we talk about Halo Infinite being such a team-oriented game, but it's plays like that that really make the difference in these games.
Rammyy is the team right now. I am the team. I'm just loving what I'm seeing him do, because they're talking about a player. By the way, we're not talking about, you know, a selfish player who's always baiting his teammates, and that's how he gets his kills. Rammyy is a very unselfish glue player for the squad and just does what's necessary. That dirty work player. So when you have a player like that playing like this, you know that Cloud9 are dangerous. You know that Cloud9 aren't going to lose. You know that Cloud9 may just pull off the reverse sweep, because Rammyy is absolutely going off. Game number 3 going towards them. Every reverse sweep starts with that game 3 win. And that's exactly what we just saw.
Here we go. A little bit different now. Now we've got another, I would say another setup type oriented map game type combination with Streets Oddball here. We'll see how that pans out for Cloud9. A decisive win out of them in that game, though. Rammyy having an incredible performance, and sometimes when you're in a situation where you're 0-2 in a series, you gotta take over. You gotta be, someone's gotta do it, right? Why not Rammyy?
Why not be Rammyy? That's why we named one of my Smurfs there, but 250 to 97 win in favor of Rammyy and Cloud9. And now the question becomes is, what do leftovers do now? You had all that momentum working in your favor in those first 2 games, and then you allow Cloud9 to just suck all the air out of the room with that win. Because not only we're talking about, close, we're talking about a decisive win. A series-changing win is what we saw in those strongholds. If I'm coaching this squad, even if it's true or not, I'm laying it up. I'm saying, you know what? This is just their game type. You know what? Cloud9 just love themselves some strongholds. Recharge is their best map, which, by the way, Nemassist always usually goes off on recharge, by the way. They usually are comfortable. I'm chalking up to that just so you can be like, because the next game is all ours. Let's get right back to what we know, what we did in the first 2 games. Let's get back into rhythm. That's what I'm saying if I'm coaching this squad, and hopefully that is the case, because leftovers, they're going to have to bounce back. Something's going to have to change.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that pressure situation. As a young player, you have 2 young players in Huss and Piggy on the team. Like these high pressure situations where, you make diamonds with them or not. And this is a chance where they can close out the series or potentially Cloud9 continue on their momentum. If Rammy's still playing phenomenal in this game number 4, then, sometimes in a situation like this, you got to target a player, right? You got to, make sure you shut them down. And that's kind of what has to happen. If Rammyy has another one of those games, he's got to be that type of target. You shut him down, and potentially you shut down the rest of the squad as well.
Well, like you said before, teamwork makes the dream work, and we're going to find out if Cloud9 can put on a team effort going into Streets once again. This time, I believe it's going to be on Oddball, which again, like I said, with Recharge, for the teams that are comfortable setting up and slowing the game down, I feel like once you get that ball in your defensive stance, that communication, that watching every single angle, once that perimeter player goes down, how do you shift? How do you adapt from there?
Yeah,
I think, again, that's what Cloud9's bread and butter should be. We didn't see that in the first 2 games, but we should be able to see that in game number 4 against Streets. Oddballs, we're waiting for that to come in. And then, if necessary, Cloud9 win this. If they do, we go to a game 5 on live fire, and that's going to be a downright brawl. The one thing about Fight Club, they tell you don't talk about Fight Club. That's what we're going to see. I guess I can't talk. Oh, I talked about it.
You talked about it, Tony. Fire him.
My bad.
You're fired. Live fire, though, definitely I would love to see this game 5. I think live fire is one of the better game 5 Slayer maps, in my opinion, just because the pace of the game changes so very often. You have a very fast-paced game, and then in the middle of the game, it just shuts down and completely slows down. And then, like we were talking about earlier, you see that 4 push top center where a break is potentially happening. But that's we'll see if we get there. First, Cloud9 have to get through this next game type and map, Streets Oddball. And again, Streets, if you don't know, it's all about controlling the sandbox here. It is about controlling the sandbox in every aspect of Halo Infinite. I know you're probably sick of hearing it, but on the Streets, I think it's so incredibly important to control that bulldog. If it runs out of ammo, or if it's dropped and it disappears off the ground, 15 seconds is all you have to wait for that thing to come up. We're talking about one of the most powerful weapons in the game, and it's on a 15-second respawn when it runs out of ammo or when it disappears from the ground. So absolutely important that you control that you make sure you maintain control of that and the Stalker, and of course the rockets as well.
Yeah, when you look at the map square inch, and compare it to how many weapons are on the map, like this has the most power weapons by square foot. Yeah, I did the math. I got a ruler and everything. But it really is. It's a small map and tons of weapons and also so much ammo in it. That Stalker rifle and Bulldog seemingly never leave the battlefield. That rockets, you see that the moment you put it to work and get yourself a 20 to 30 second lead, another one comes up in 20 more seconds. So as annoying as it sounds, like, you know, you got to play through the power weapons. Seriously, if you're losing your streets game, it's because you're not grabbing them. Yeah, exactly right. And that being said, Leftovers get their first set of rockets on the board, but they only get 3 seconds of time off that, Tony. So we gotta like ask ourselves, right? Those spikes are off the map, no, are out of the situation now, but we gotta ask ourselves, like, do we have the slays to be able to maybe scrap a little bit of time here? I want to see how they play through the Sentinel beam, and Piggy was able to get himself a huge kill. Triton being left by himself. I look, he almost wanted to go for the ball there, but not much he can do. Finally, Leftovers are able to deal with that final player, and they move that ball into the defensive stance. Rammyy already making it toward the red room side, gets spotted out. He can't go down here. Stagger spawns is not what Cloud9 are looking for. Not when you're trying to break this setup, so he backs down, allows his teammates to switch out and do most of the damage. Now that he's full shields, he's just gonna run through them, or should I say ram through them. Huss gets hushed, and just like that, 2 go down for Cloud9. 3 go down. It looks like the setup was not broken. There was a lot of damage done from the top of from the top of Tram on the Stalker spawn, and unfortunately they didn't take him out quick enough. And when you're able to do that much damage and play your life, you're such a nuisance there. But still, we're only talking about 23 seconds of ball time here. You'd expect a little bit more efficiency on that ball time. It's 2 setups that you're able to break the rockets. One of them will be wasted, but Triton gets a beautiful double, and now 2v2 situation is in front of us. As right now, 1v2 until Rammy's able to get the flank off, and there we go. Now the 2v2 begins as he switches out and takes down the first one. Now it's a 2v1. Piggy gonna be left by himself. One shot, and somehow the spike grenade absolutely shreds Triton. Piggy was one shot and just refused to go down. Refused to go home, 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 home. This little Piggy will not. And now he's gonna continue to do damage. Back-to-back kills go in favor of Leftovers. Finally, Cloud9 are able to do some damage, but Leftovers put them down to 1 shot. They answer back, and they're making it so hard for Cloud9. Even when Cloud9 get the slays, they can't get the ball. Leftovers are continuously pushing them. Yeah, it just comes down again, the Bulldog and the spikes. You see a lot of these teams at the top level. What they'll do is they'll make sure one of the starting strat positions is to either get the spikes if they spawn on Tram side, or to shoot them if they don't. And you know, you're seeing those spikes being utilized so very often in this matchup. They provide the break there, but finally, Cloud9 able to put some time on the board. Is Straight Sick overextending, though, is the question. Is he going to get caught out here on the PD side? Former teammates turned enemies here on the virtual battlefield. Straight Sick with the straight stick across the map, but can't get the double kill onto Triton. Usually that would cost him a bit, but luckily Huss, his brother, has his back. And now Leftovers continue to put a few seconds worth of time on the board. You said this game hasn't been scrappy enough for you. So far, we're not seeing that multitasking that we see a lot from the phases and the optics, but what we are seeing is clean slays and clean setups. And if that's the case, it turns to the clean overkill. Huss absolutely going off, putting all of Cloud9 in the clouds. Meets your maker. Rockets in the hands of Huss. More ball time now coming in for Leftovers as Cloud9 now coming off a spawn, and Leftovers know exactly where they're coming from. The first one is already staggered. Rammy's gonna join his brother as well, as Huss has 1 more rocket to work with. Nemassist, Nema gone. And Huss with the Bulldog continues to man the sandbox. How many times did you talk about it when it comes to this map? You talked about it this game, the series before that. Leftovers are taking control of the sandbox, and look at the scoreboard because of it. Yeah, the fact that he was able to have those rockets for that next push coming out of Cloud9 was so very huge. Look at the time they have on the board. 68 seconds, all based off that overkill. And then the stop again, but Cloud9 have found a way to get a ball here. The only problem is Nemassist is all by himself. Triton's got to put some massive damage in to make sure that Nemassist doesn't get pushed.
And again, this damage coming from B rails and B stairs is going to be so bad. And now Rammyy goes down as well. See, so that setup is completely broken. They were stuck in a 2v2 and they didn't win it. That is, Cloud9 did not win it. And again, Leftovers have the ball in hand and a potential chance to close this round out.
It created a nice little pinch attack from multiple angles, and Cloud9 didn't have an answer for it. And I didn't have an answer for the spawning players just running into grenades. Leftovers manipulating those spawns well, cutting off those angles, creating that choke point. And now the same way that Leftovers broke the setup is now the same way they're going to try to hold on to it, but they have to win a couple of pivs, and that's what Cloud9 do best. Squallaye takes down Straight Sick, demands the ball immediately. The rest of the 3 players are already stuck onto the B side of the map. Leftovers are trying to reset, but Cloud9 are already pushing up.
Yeah, Leftovers were on a little bit of a staggered spawn now, but they're still pushing up, and that's going to allow Straight Sick and KingJay to go down late, which means Huss is going to be up next, and it's going to be a 2v3 situation. So still some more ball time on the board here for Cloud9, just due to that overextension, and Triton with the rockets and the Bulldog is going to make some impact here as Squallaye, he's sitting on those C stairs. I understand their setup now. It's very unorthodox, but there's pretty much setting up on purple side and just allowing Rammyy to be in a position to play that ball if he gets pressured.
So far, this is seemingly working for Cloud9 as the first kill works in favor of them. While this happens, that ball time is still in the hands of Cloud9. Leftovers want to kill that first perimeter player, but it's not going to happen with Cloud9 spread out so well and just tagging them up left and right. Even when they're not getting the kills, they're forcing them to back down and keeping them out of the play, and they're just soaking up all that ball time in the meantime. Finally, we see them start to push up into the subway side. Nemassist on the outside looking in. We'll get a little bit of damage, but it's not going to be enough. They should be able to avoid most of that. The third one will fall for Cloud9. And now we're talking about a little over 10 seconds needed. They try to go for the rotation. Rammyy chasing them down with the commando, putting it to work. Piggy ends up going down. Straight Sick going to be the only player alive. Cloud9 might have not only just broken this setup, but they also might have just broken this game wide open and might take round 1 because of it.
How many times is Rammyy gonna clutch the game? What a beautiful flank on the tram there. It's gonna potentially get him this round, and it does. My word, how many freaking times is this guy gonna clutch it up and ice up when it needs to happen? Once again, at the very end there, Cloud9 gets so much time, it looks to be lost as Leftovers take control, but Rammyy with a beautiful flank, gonna clutch it for the squad, and now they're up by 1.
19 kills out of Rammyy, 16 kills out of Triton, and of course you got Nemassist dropping the assist. 17 assists out of Nemassist right now. How crazy. Tim, you already know I love that stat line right there.
It's a lot of assists.
But now it's time for him to slay out though, because that rocket ain't built for assist, it's built for slaying. The first 2 are going to go in favor of Cloud9. Leftovers are going to try to reset, but they don't know. Rock's going to be looking in every single corner, and there it is. Piggy trying to check his ATM, get some cash out. Gets robbed of his life by Nemassist. The long-range shots almost able to deal with Huss. Stalker Rifle should be able to clean up both of those players, and Cloud9 have already put almost 30 points on the board before Leftovers put a single one on.
Yeah, a little bit of a contrast from what we've seen from Leftovers when they had some power weapons in hand, and we only saw 25 seconds within the first like 3 minutes of the game. So Cloud9 doing a great job this round of being very scrappy and getting the ball time when the opening is there.
Stalker Rifle was stolen by Piggy. As you talked about how strong this can be, this is a setup breaker, especially when you combine it with the Bulldog, and that's exactly what Piggy has in his hands. The player trying to push up the B stairs, not gonna happen. Rammyy, the only player alive. Leftovers want to push up and deal with them, but somehow Rammyy gets that kill. So big for him as Cloud9 are coming up off the spawn, and now they have the opportunity to push up.
Yeah, unfortunately though, KingJay does drop early. I believe he gets a favorable spawn, so it'll be okay. But all the while, Cloud9 does make it through. They kill Huss, so it's a 3v3 situation. These next couple kills are very important, and a great play by Rammyy to stay alive and support the rocket player in Triton as he gets one.
3 down for Leftovers. Rammyy trying to deal with the final player being an absolute nuisance. Just so you know what, let my teammates switch out for that. Squallaye going to be awarded the kill for that one. Cloud9 still holding on to their lead and more importantly holding on to the Bulldog and Stalker. Squallaye taking down the first and Piggy. Nemassist holding that ball over toward the PD side. Leftovers going to try to find any kind of angle towards it, but the setup seemingly locked in here for Cloud9. Leftovers going to have a problem, and another round of slays goes in favor of Cloud9, and this is going to be about a 60-19 score line before Leftovers even get back into play. Look at Cloud9 already pushing up and trying to trap Leftovers into the subway.
Yeah, I love this cross shot there on that purple side. Anyone decides to go front tram, you're gonna take a lot of damage, which definitely not wanting to take that route. Still some time on the board. The ball time does stall though, as Nemassist I believe does go down. But I love the selflessness of Rammyy to understand that the push is not yet through, so he can get a couple more seconds and squeeze those seconds out as fast as he can.
What a sneaky play by Triton, able to get that kill. Doesn't take any damage because of that. He can get aggressive, double kill, triple kill. Beautiful. Sending 3 to the dirt. More ball time being earned by Cloud9. And this is what I talked about, Rammyy, unselfish player, 26 kills, 7 assists. He's still putting up ball time right now. He has no problem with it because he trusts his teammates to be able to hold on to this setup. And now this might be the final opportunity for Leftovers to get a good push on them. I don't know where Huss came from, but somehow got behind them, flanks into the cafe. By the time they deal with them, the rest of the players are pushing up. Cloud9 are already ready for it. There's no hole within their defense, no weakness within the armor. They are absolutely bulletproof, or at least looking like it, as they move on to the end game. They want this game 5.
Yeah, the end game is where they're at, and they're going to need the rockets to make something happen here. They have them in hand as Straight gets one, only one alive. That is Nemassist. So now they have one more rocket for this potential next push. But will it be enough is the question as Leftovers continues to get time.
Great break by Leftovers. We've seen them get into their setups just as similar as Cloud9 did, and being able to thrive with it. So far, some decent time from 28 seconds up to 43. Cloud9 still looking for that first kill, but it will come. Huss will go down. Piggy now being left alone onto the cafe side. If Cloud9 can push him out, this can be big. That'll block the spawners. That'll get them in position. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Now all of the Leftovers are stuck over toward the PD. They need to start chucking some nades or get in there. Triton gets in. The first one goes down. The second one going to fall. And just like that, Leftovers might have just lost this game here. What are they gonna do off a spawn?
Well, they have one chance because they did get that red room spawn. They killed 3 as well. Triton was the last guy alive. I believe he was the first spawner. So Leftovers did have a break. It's due to the damage that came from the nade from that red room spawn in the first player. 58 seconds now to 86. They can mount a comeback here, but it will be very difficult and will require perfect Halo.
I can't believe Cloud9 got the slays, trapped Leftovers over to where the PD did everything they wanted to, and somehow Leftovers turned that situation around and put Cloud9 forward down, and even scrape up a little bit of ball time to go along with it. Well played by Leftovers. Back into their A-side setup, Cloud9 all the way across the map, not even in. This game is about to be tied up very soon here. Leftovers, who were on their back foot for so long, are now thriving at the moment and ready to steal this away. Down to one shot, both Huss and Nemassist go. Nemassist able to take him down, get his shield back, now working in for the rockets. A huge pivotal fight onto KingJay. Squallaye then comes up to clean up the pieces. A double kill by Straight, almost a triple kill. Triton not gonna allow that to happen. Both teams fighting, brawling right now. Every kill being earned. Nothing is given here on the streets, but Huss was able to sneak away with the rocket. He has one in his pocket. He has a thrust to go along with it. This is bad for Cloud9. What happened?
Yeah, that was such an incredible push by Leftovers, right? Cloud9 got the favorable spot on PD. But Leftovers are able to trap and pinch and get the slays necessary. And now we're talking about a different lead. Leftovers now in the lead with 90 seconds, 10 more, and they'll close this round out.
Rammyy tries to fly it. He has to do something to stop this ball from going in. They go in for the rotation. There's Leftovers that go over it on the purple side of the map. Love the idea of that, but all that happens is the ball ends up being played. They need those kills. Cloud9 go 3 down. Triton, the only player alive. Huss makes the unselfish play to get the ball around the corner. Nades are going in, but Huss refuses to go down. 3, 2, 1. We're tied up.
What an incredible play by Huss right there. The goal was to get the ball into Tram, and he did just that, unscathed. And now, like you just said, we're tied up. This is a must-win, though, for Cloud9 as they're down 2-1 in this series. They got to make something happen, and they got to make it happen now.
Leftovers absolutely stepping up. They were down, what, like 89 to 43, and so many times Cloud9 had them on the ropes, but they weren't able to deliver that knockout blow. Now, will that cost them this game? Momentum now shifting ways over towards the Leftovers, but the Rockets are in the hands of Cloud9. And if you want to heat check a team, you get those weapons, you start off hot, you lay down the wall, control the pace of the game, and that's exactly what Cloud9 are doing. The flank with the shotgun, he's out of rockets, it don't matter. He got power weapons for days, baby. 6 feet under, go Leftovers. 8 seconds till they come back, but Cloud9, they're playing angry at the moment.
Rammyy. That's the name right now on my mind. 38 and 19, some incredibly big plays. It's one thing to have that type of KD, but it's another thing for the plays to be made as well. 24 seconds, like you mentioned, to 0. Huss is in an important position up here on top A, but decides to push through as he's not being an impact. Sometimes a position is good, but if you're not being impactful, you gotta move. And Huss does just that.
Huss is able to grab that ball and bring it back to the safety towards his teammates. So well played by Leftovers. Scrappy time not having the numbers, but it's Cloud9 that have to make that long rotation and get onto the A side of the map, giving plenty of time for anything to happen. That includes Rammyy putting that commando to work. Squallaye gonna follow it right up with the battle rifle, forcing Leftovers for the early play ball. And look at the play by Rammyy. Unselfish, says, I'm gonna trust my teammates to get the kill. I'm gonna go in for that ball, move it back over. That's multitasking that we didn't see early on in this game.
Yeah, it's all about being adaptive, right? You've got to just take, if your ball's in front of you, you got an opportunity to take it, do it. He also pinged the Rockets, make sure that they had control of those. It looks like Leftovers does get those, though, momentarily. Something I'm seeing out of Leftovers, Tony, is the staggering. Like, a lot of overextensions here, but it's only by a couple of feet here and there. Cloud9 is taking advantage of every positional advantage that they can.
Nemassist on screen. Extended all the way toward the subway side is Nemassist. Does he know that Huss is still back here with the stalker rifle? Oh, and Huss might have just heard him, so now the hunted becomes the hunter. But while this battle is happening, you got to keep in mind, Rammyy still has the ball in hand. So, a little bit of a cat and mouse game over towards Subway, and Cloud9 are going to take advantage of that. So keep pushing up. Keep having to worry about that play over toward the Subway side. They're fine with the A side setup, and now they're going to rotate that ball before you even get involved. Cloud9 playing keep away with the oddball, and Leftovers looking like the monkey in the middle.
Such incredible rotations here out of Cloud9. They get control of Tram instantly. Nemassist gets the kill necessary. Now Tram is open. It's up to Triton to play a little bit of defense here and potentially get that ball through. Looks like they will keep it on purple, though, for a moment. And because of that, they actually go 2 down. So this is an opportunity for Leftovers to get a little bit of control. With these Rockets coming up, it's important that no one goes down.
Stalker rifle commando combination here for Huss. Immediately forcing Triton back over toward the PD side. You know that communication is coming in, but the same for Cloud9 as they're able to deal with Huss. Early damage. Squallaye and Nemassist over toward the purple side. Triton now pinching in. You got multiple angles as they collapse onto the A. Spike grenade should do so much damage over toward the tires on some multiple players. So Triton may not have gotten all those kills, but he definitely did enough damage for the rest of the team to clean it up, or so I thought. Leftovers making the plays that count.
Nemassist going to be, unfortunately, in a bad position there as leftovers get the spawns onto PD. Those spawns are so very important, especially on this A setup. A couple kills is all leftovers need at this point. They've got the weapons to make that happen. But 1 or 2 kills will solidify them a tie here in this third and final round.
Despite the performance of Rammyy on Cloud9 and even their lead, leftovers seem to be answering back. They're the ones on the A side setup, and now they've afforded themselves the opportunity to overextend and keep the pressure on. And look, the moment they know that Cloud9 are wrapping onto the A side, they smartly just play that ball over towards the B side. The same exact tactic that Cloud9 did to them, leftovers, taking a play out of their book, but Triton comes in with the interception. KingJay luckily comes in with the bulldog, and that's what matters. More ball time for leftovers as a lead will be changed here. Leftovers may not have started off hot, but it's all about how you finish.
Yeah, exactly right. KingJay 24 and 37, a little bit of a rough scoreline, but that play literally could have won them this game and potentially this series. Utilizing that bulldog fully, and look at this flank by KingJay once again. Another big brain play out of him. He gets one, and he puts damage into the player going bottom center, potentially trying to set up for those rockets. KingJay starting to pick things up.
I said that Huss and Straight Sick need to play angry. They need to play with that passion. Frank Sinatra once said, the best revenge is massive success. And that's exactly what you're seeing here from leftovers. The way they're playing here, they've taken control of the ball. Straight Sick going right after the team that dropped them in the first place, but as I say that, Cloud9 bringing that ball over towards the subway side, answering right back. Cloud9 will not roll over easily. Leftovers, what are you going to do?
Yeah, they got the initial 2 kills on both sides, so now it's a 2v2 situation. Some ball time being mounted, but it's not enough, but there it is. Squallaye with a beautiful assist on that kill. They've got to kill Piggy here on the B straight. They do that as well. 3 down for leftovers. The spawns on C. They've got to get to PD fast.
Leftovers may have the lead, but right now Cloud9 have that momentum and also have the ball in hands. And as of right now, an oddball, I'm pretty sure that's the most important thing. Rammyy able to get the 4-shot kill, but does have to trade out his life to do it. Triton has a very important role. He has to watch the B stairs. He has to make sure nobody pushes onto the driveway. Usually the B side is a transitional setup, but as of right now, this is looking like the main setup that Cloud9 are looking to close this game out with. Off the screen, Rammyy able to take down Piggy. Just 7 more seconds needed. You're seeing Rammyy push over back toward the arcade side. This is big. 3 down go leftovers, and now multiple members of Cloud9 are stealing this ball. The second kill does come in. There's only 1 player left to get toward the B stairs. He's dealt with just like that. They steal this game, and we're going to a game 5.
Oh, baby, game number 5 once again, man. We had so many game 5s yesterday, the day before, and we're continuing the trend here once again today. What an incredible performance there by Cloud9. I want to break down what exactly happened there. Right at the beginning, KingJay ended up dying early, which prevented leftovers from making the push. They waited for KingJay to spawn back up, but then Piggy ended up going down as well. So it forced KingJay to make a play off of his spawn. I believe it was on A. It wasn't enough. They weren't able to break the setup there. And I've got to talk about Rammyy. I believe it was 47 or 48 kills out of this man. What an incredible 49 kills. All right, fire him. He didn't get the 50 kill mark. That's unfortunate. No, but 49 and 28 out of Rammyy. A 27.0 KDA. Absolutely insane.
We had so many questions going into Charlotte, and these online qualifiers have been able to answer a lot of them. But the most important question that I have for you, Tim, right now is, I'm not in the game. Why am I sweating? I don't understand. Like, I'm nervous. I'm shaking over here. Like, I goosebumps. I'm so invested in this game, man. I love Halo, and I also love me game 5s.
Oh man, I can't say that I'm sweating, but I do love the game of Halo, and I also love me some game 5s. This has been an incredible matchup thus far, and like we talked about a little bit earlier, now going to a live fire Slayer, which in my opinion, one of the better, this and Aquarius, some of the better game 5 Slayers we could ask for. The pace of the game will change drastically depending on the situation, but going to be very interesting to see who comes out to play when it matters the most. We've seen incredible performance by Rammyy, countless games out of the series, and this is the time though. All of those games, they matter, right? They're, you know, because of your performances, we're able to go to a game 5, but this is where it really matters. Everyone on this Cloud9 roster needs to perform.
Yeah, I mean, I love that you brought that up. Like, you know, it's you know, like playing on land, for example, is so, it's such a different beast. You know, playing with people watching you, sitting behind you, you know, playing a game 5, you know, where expectations are, you know, where it's do or die. It's so tough. But you have to step up, especially as a professional player. And they say everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. So just get over that hump, push through, visualize what the goal is, and then go in and smash it. Because as of right now, both of these teams want to make deep runs over towards Charlotte. Both of these teams want to make name for themselves. They want to become household names, where this right here is where champions are made. Game number 5. Cloud9 going up against Leftovers. The winner advances forward, the loser goes home. We're coming here to live fire, and his first to 50 kills takes the win. Tim, take it away.
We've got to talk about the implications, Tony. Top 6 get pool play at Charlotte, which is absolutely incredible due to the fact that only 4 open teams will make it into pool play at Charlotte, the LAN itself. This is definitely something huge to shoot for, but they've got to get past each other first. Tomorrow's another day, but they've got to make it to tomorrow. Nemassist on your screen right now. Sniper up, Leftovers with a 3-kill lead already.
Sniper rifle and Heatwave were the first weapons to come up on this map. On a 30-second delay is that overshield, so don't forget about that. A 4-1 lead already started here for Leftovers. That's going to afford them that early position towards the overshield. I don't see anybody in Cloud9 with an angle towards it, so KingJay snatches it away, puts it in his pocket for a little later. Now that it's time to push up toward the mid, he pops it. Going to be that forward player, plays a shield towards his teammate in Huss. Gets himself a beautiful kill onto Squallaye. Straight Sick tries to follow it up. Cloud9 doing a great job of responding off of spawn. Can Leftovers keep this aggression going though?
8-3. Leftovers have a little bit of a advantage here as they have the entire A side of the map and pushing on Nest, but look at the Nest side, a little bit overextended there, and Nemassist with that kill. You're gonna see Cloud9 try to converge on the next couple of kills. KingJay does go down first, but the flank from Straight Sick is gonna be huge in this engagement.
And that's what happens when you're going up against a player that you've been scrimming with time and time again. Straight Sick knew that Nemassist wanted to pull that sniper over toward the tower side. So he comes in with the flank, comes in with the backsmack. Now is able to get the sniper rifle back into his own hands. A 13-5 start here from the number 15 seeded team, and Leftovers trying to pull off the upset. Piggy gets a double kill on the spawning players. Cloud9 are being cycled right now.
Yeah, 16-6. This is a huge lead for Leftovers, and with this OS coming up, Cloud9 being down 1. Squallaye went for a big kill there, but unfortunately, down in numbers is Cloud9 once again as they go 3 down, 19-6. What the heck happened to this Leftovers squad? They're starting to come alive, Tony, and Leftovers coming alive is a scary thing.
It's all about that momentum. And forget allowing Cloud9 to set the pace. Leftovers have blown that out of the water here. They are absolutely running through them. They are mowing them down right there, and there's no signs of slowing down. Cloud9, you gotta plant your feet. You gotta know that they're coming and win a pivot. It's the only way it's gonna happen. Huss answers with a beautiful double kill. He ends up being taken down, but the damage clearly has been done. 23-10 lead in favor of Leftovers. The restart begins.
He's not going to be able to clean up KingJay, but he does get him at the end. And I've got to talk about this, right? You're down 2-0 in the series, or you're up, sorry, 2-0 in the series. Cloud9 win 2 in a row. A reverse sweep is a very scary situation mentally, but the fact that Leftovers have been able to recover here is huge. But as I say that, the curse comes through. 24-16, Cloud9 starting to heat up.
Now he gets the headshot into the first one, body shots 2 more. Now those players forced to back down over toward the green side. He's gonna trust his teammates to come right on in. Piggy trying to be a good support player, trying to be a good teammate. The problem is that every angle is being locked down. Cloud9 don't allow any avenue for Leftovers to get involved and to overwhelm them, and now they bring it back within 5. Rammyy still has 3 sniper bullets to work with here. Well played by Cloud9 to get them back into the game.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a little bit of overconfidence coming out of Leftovers. They started to feel a little bit, you know, a little bit of momentum. Unfortunately, they took that momentum a bit too far. A little bit too aggressive on some plays, and Cloud9 was in a great position to prevent those pushes, but that OS is going to be huge here, and it looks like Straight Six going to punch it into his chest. This OS could extend their lead.
Overshield to the hands of Straight Six. He thinks he's in a 1v1 right now, but he might just get back smacked here. The melee easy on him, and just like that, his overshield ends up being shredded. Luckily, they're still able to take down 2 players with it, so half the members of Cloud9 on the black screen, the other half scrambling a bit. Rammyy gets himself a huge kill onto Piggy. Straight Six comes in for the cleanup. Leftovers very comfortable with playing with trades at the moment, as they currently have a decent sized lead. Keep Cloud9 off balance seems to be the game plan right now for Leftovers.
Leftovers is doing a really good job of staying alive, and like you see, the damage goes out there. Huss is going to get 2 assists in a row, which is just huge in this situation. He plays his life as well, and this heat wave is going to continue to be a thorn in the side, as Leftovers has done such a great job controlling these power weapons and utilizing them correctly.
Huss went 11-7 performance. Man was previously teaming with the Strong Survive up until a few days ago, where they dropped them for Septify. Another player with something to prove. Another player so desperate for a big win. This means so much for Huss and the rest of this Leftover squad, as they currently have a 7-kill lead. We're switching gears to Rammyy. When I was saying, you got that assault rifle, and I ain't mad at that, but the commando is obviously, it's a little better. I don't know if y'all heard, it recently got buffed just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
You
just
see,
a little.
You see, just a little bit.
Just a little tiny bit. Rammyy gonna be aggressive on bottom center here in a perfect timing, but unfortunately he's gonna get converged on, and this is where Leftovers have done such a good job finding a player out of position, converging on him quickly. The Silver Shield coming up. The next couple kills, of course, will be important here. And a trade for each side, but unfortunately, Nemassist and Triton both go down. Leftovers to go down for them as well, but they end up getting that OS anyway, and the sniper, Tony.
Lots of times when new teams, when they get themselves an early lead by playing scrap, by playing aggressive, the instant response is to try to slow the game down and not cost yourself a win. Leftovers doing exactly that, but the one thing I'm worried about is could this hurt them? You know, they're playing counterintuitive to what they normally do. Should they have kept the aggression going? Should they have kept putting Cloud9 off balance? And now you're giving Cloud9 opportunity to reset. As I say that off the screen, Huss was able to deal with Squallaye. And it looks like Rammyy ends up going down too, but they're gonna trade out those lives. Those trades gonna work for Leftovers, so shut up, Tony, you don't know what you're talking about. Triton does end up getting away with the sniper rifle, down by 10 kills. He's gonna have to have some kind of crazy performance here with the S7 if they're gonna come back in this game. It's game 5, baby.
Yeah, Leftovers, all they want is trades at this point in time, so they're just gonna push very aggressively here. Piggy gets a kill. Rammyy gets a double though, which is gonna be huge for him, but unfortunately he's pinched with no shields, and 2 of his teammates are as well. And because of this fact that they were on A side, Leftovers gonna get a spawn on the OS. Rammy's not aware of it, and he goes down 49-39, the only 1 kill, and Leftovers will win this game 5.
Just 1 more kill needed as we switch gears over towards Heatwave player in KingJay. Just 1 trade is what they're looking for, and it looks like they're gonna get it. It's Piggy with the sniper rifle. The 50th kill has been accomplished. They're sending Cloud9 home.
Wow. Leftovers, I'm telling you, man, the mental to be able to be up 2-0 in the series. A reverse sweep is right in front of you. You're facing it square in the eye, and instead you ice up on the game 5 where it counts the most. They started the game so very strong. They ended it just as strong. And with the performance that Huss had 16 and 10 in that game, you love to see when players ice up.